Thanks, sir. Democrats are arguing that ACB puts in danger not only Roe v. Wade, but a number of other decisions. Do you think that they are correct?
No, I don't know. I mean, we depend. I think she's going to rule on the law. I think she's going to be a great justice for many years to come. But I can't say. They also bring up health care. I mean, Obamacare is terrible. It doesn't work. We've made the best of it. We got rid of the individual mandate, which is great. We are going to protect people with pre-existing conditions 100%. But if we can end Obamacare and come up with a much better health care system that's much cheaper, and much better, which is what we'll do. On the other hand, if the court rules against, we will manage the system better. But don't forget, we've already essentially gotten rid of Obamacare because we got rid of the individual mandate, and it was all based on that. So we've done a tremendous amount because the individual mandate was the most unpopular aspect of Obamacare. You had to pay a lot of money for the privilege of not paying for bad health care. So that was a terrible thing for people. And what we will do is, if we are fortunate enough to get rid of the little remaining in Obamacare, and again, individual mandate, the way I view it, that's no longer Obamacare because that was the central point, and we won that. We've already won that, as you know. But by getting rid of that, it's different. It's a much different thing. The other thing we've done is managed. Here's the story. It's no good. It's too expensive. It's bad coverage. You don't get your doctor. You don't get your plan. All the things that President Obama said, you don't get. And Biden, too, by the way. If Biden even, I don't think he has any understanding of it. But you don't get your doctor. You don't get your plan. 28 times President Obama said, you get your doctor, you get your plan. It turned out to be a lie. So here's what we're doing. If we can terminate, we are going to have a much better plan, and you will have your doctor, you will have your plan, you'll have a lot of things that you don't get with Obamacare.
Yeah. You've said this numerous times, but do you really believe that Joe Biden will be on any type of performance-enhancing drug ahead of the debates, or are you just joking?
No, I'm not joking. I mean, I'm willing to take a drug test. I think he should too, because he's had a very uneven. I watched him with when he was with, debating Pocahontas and Harris, who treated him so badly. But I watched him, and he was out of it, right? And then I watched him against Bernie Sanders, and he was okay. I mean, he wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible. He was okay. A far cry from the way you know what I'm saying. I mean, if you look at some of those debates, I said there's no way he can continue. He can't continue. Then all of a sudden he debated crazy Bernie Sanders, and you know what? The truth is he was okay. And I said, how did he go from there with those horrible performances to where he was okay? And I always joke, but it is true. He was no Winston Churchill in debating, but he was fine. And people say he was on performance-enhancing drugs. And a lot of people have said that. A lot of people have written that. So take a look at it. Take a look. Why don't you just check it? You can check out the internet. You'll see plenty of people say it. And whether he is or not doesn't matter. But I would love to take a test, and he can take a test too.
So we'll start with debate. Obviously, it is coming up. How are you preparing? Is somebody playing Joe Biden in the debate with you? Are you doing debate prep at all?
Yeah, we are. We're doing it. These two gentlemen have been helping. Kaylee's there.
Who plays Biden for you? I mean,
I would say maybe a combination of these two, and either one of them is about 5 times smarter than Sleepy Joe. But we had a little debate prep before we came here. I think this whole thing, though, is debate prep. What I do is debate prep every day. I'm taking questions from you people all the time. I mean, I've taken a lot of questions from you over the last number of years, and he doesn't. I watched the way he was treated on MSDNC on Friday. I guess he did it live, and it was disgraceful. It was an embarrassment. I know her, and she's a pretty tough reporter. The way she was helping him along with us, it was so obvious what was going on. She was helping him. She was giving him a question and then helping him to answer the question. I know her very well. She doesn't do that. It was embarrassing, and people don't talk about it. I mean, play some of those clips, play some of those answers, the answers where he wasn't able to give an answer, and she's pushing him They never do that with me, I can tell you, but I don't have the kind of problems he has. So,
How many hours would you say you've spent on
a
debate prep?
little time, I mean, not a lot.
More or less than
I'm
60?
running the country. I don't have the luxury. I watched other people over the years. I watched one sort of fairly recently, not too long ago, go into a cabin, lock himself into a cabin, and he came out and he wasn't very effective. He had so many things going on. Sometimes you can go too much in that stuff, Sometimes you can go too much. I mean, look, I've never debated before, but then I debated a lot 4 years ago, and if you look at the polls, those polls that come out, hundreds of thousands of people in Time Magazine and all of the different polls, I think there's about 7 or 8 of them, according to those polls, I won every debate, every single debate, in the primaries, and then when I debated Crooked Hillary, I won every debate. I mean, this isn't me saying, I felt I did, but this isn't me saying, this is the polls. You had Time Magazine poll, you had this, that, and I guess they take them off the internet or they get phone calls or something. But according to that, I won every debate. And I felt I did. But I understand the subject. Now, Chris is tough. I hope that Chris is going to be equally tough on Joe Biden. But I watched the young lady who I won't say her name, but it was embarrassing the way she was getting him along. So I just asked a question about drugs. I think it's something that would be appropriate because you can't have a president that needs that kind of help. If you do have a president that needs that kind of help, when you've got to deal with Putin and you've got to deal with President Xi of China and you have to deal with Kim Jong-un, and by the way, do you notice there's no war going on with North Korea, which everyone thought would be in about 1 week after I came to be president. They thought it was going to happen immediately. No war. And that's saving perhaps millions of lives, not just, they were saying, 50,000 people. No, millions and millions of people could have died.